Buenos dias. Welcome to the first ever installment and episode of my new show, The Daily Bullshit. I'm your host, Jose Ramiro Montealegre III.
Breaking news.
We have just found out that the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is in fact still a racist and a misogynist who does not believe in science or climate change. Now let's move on to the top story, the top bullshit of the day on the Daily Bullshit. Looks like Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh has been in the news as a sexual abuser that has two women coming forward now and a third on the way with Michael Avenatti, saying that they accused him of sexual abuse in some way or form. And it looks like he claims that he's innocent because of his fucking high school calendar. That is some bullshit we have never seen on the likes of this Daily Bullshit show. Judge Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice nominee, is using his fucking high school calendar as evidence that he didn't sexually abuse this chick. Man, I mean, he must think, Brett Kavanaugh must think the American people are
Really dumb.
I mean, he must think they are so dumb to be able to even try to float that along. I mean, that is some bullshit, you know? That is some daily fucking bullshit right there. I mean, who the fuck keeps a calendar from high school, first of all? Second of all, nobody's gonna write down any crimes they're gonna commit on a fucking calendar, alright? That's not what calendars are used for. That would not hold up in his court, because he's a fucking judge, after all. And that is true. That is not bullshit. He's an actual judge that sexually abuses women. And then people wonder why, you know, nobody does anything in the fucking government for women coming forward. It's pretty sad. It's a sad revelation. The whole Me Too movement, the whole I didn't report thing, it's like, man, I mean, all these victims just kind of get labeled as liars, and meanwhile the president is always an exception for being full of shit. In other bullshit news, the midterm elections are coming up, and all of the kids from Parkland, Florida, and other victims of mass shootings and school shootings all think that they can vote out all of the government, basically. And that's not going to happen, you know. I know that they're still kids, and, you know, they just, like, wish that they had somebody, you know, with a sense of morality in the government. There's none, you know. They keep saying, oh, well, you know, maybe if there was a good guy with a gun, you know, none of this would have happened. Maybe if there was a good guy with a gun. Maybe if there was a good guy in the entire government of the United States of America, maybe this wouldn't happen, okay? Maybe if there was a good guy in Congress, this might have some kind of gun reform or gun changes. Maybe if there was a good guy in the Supreme Court, you'd see some kind of gun control or gun reform. But there's not. There's zero good guys in the government of the United States, and they're all still happily collecting donations from the NRA. So they would rather have the money and the guns than try to help any of your kids' lives. And, you know, I hope that one day you realize that, because, you know, you guys love this country so much, and they don't really love you guys at all, you know. They love their guns more than your kids. So, you know, I hope that might give you some kind of major epiphany, and hopefully it leads to a whole lot of other epiphanies so that, you know, you guys don't get screwed. But that's just a little bit more from the Daily Bullshit. Also, on today's episode of the Daily Bullshit, the liar in chief, the bloated orange, Mr. Donald Drumpf, D-R-U-M-P-F, also decided that they saved Puerto Rico, I guess, and that they did a great job, and blah, blah, blah. We here at the Daily Bullshit call bullshit and, look at the outrageous amounts of deaths that there were in Puerto Rico without any kind of assistance from the United States government or FEMA. They reacted way too late. A lot of people have died, and they don't even care. They could care less, even though that's been a territory of theirs for a very long time. It's colonialism at its finest, or, in my opinion, at its worst. But, the USA just has so many occupations and territories all over the world that they invade, bomb, occupy, and terrorize. So I guess it's maybe kind of hard for them to keep up with all the people worldwide that they terrorize. But, that's just part of the American imperialism. And the American dream is dead. And same with the freedom of speech. The First Amendment is dead. The Constitution is dead. You guys wear the Constitution like a fucking suit. You put it on when it fits you best, and you throw it out the window whenever it doesn't suit you best. But that's just a sad reality. Another sad reality of where we are today. I hope that the 99% of people that have been being butt-fucked royally by their own government wakes up sometime. Sometime in the near future would be great. I hope that I inspire or awaken at least a couple of people along the way. But in all reality, you don't need an audience to speak your mind. And I'm calling out the bullshit on my new show, The Daily Bullshit. But don't let that stop you from doing your daily bullshit. Keep going through life, ignoring all of these problems and pretending like everything's all right because you don't have the bravery to speak out against evil and fight for what's right. So go back to sleep, America. Your government is control. This has been the first installment of The Daily Bullshit.